Does everyone have Excel on your computer? I think everyone has it. You have?
Yeah.
Thank God. Right. I think we have less students now than before. Is this visible to back? I think it's too small. Can can you see this? The back side? No? No worries. Let me do this. Now we'll be discussing numbers. Right. I think we can start now. So today will be our introduction to the formulas. Obviously, this is what Excel really is all about. It's all about formula, right? So um, I will starting today, moving forward, I'm gonna use Excel as a tool for me to use to teach. Um, so today we'll be discussing about the formula, and then we have a BidMass example, and obviously the formulas, but I don't know, maybe it's difficult for you to see. Maybe I can just zoom in later when we start discussing about the formula. And then lastly, we have activity. Can you see? Because you're doing it. It's too small, yeah? No worries. Maybe I can just zoom in a little bit. So at least you can see. No worries. As we go along, we can just zoom in the text. So obviously formula, as I've said here, this is my own explanation. It's like a recipe. So it's a set of instructions that when you follow, it produces a result. So in Excel, we use operators like this one. So the plus, minus, times or multiply, and slash for divide. Surely you know about this. right? So, and then sometimes functions to calculate something that is very specific. So this is actually like the backbone of data analysis. So at the last part of this MS combo, we have huge data that we're going to analyze. But you have to learn the basics first, okay? So for you to be able to insert a function, so for example, you do down here, you have two options. It's either you can go up here. So you have the option to insert function. So inserting function, you can actually search here. Let's say, for example, you want to have the sum function or formula. So you can just type in the search for function, and then you click go, and you will be given the option of sum. Okay, that's how you insert a formula or a function. Or the other way is you can go to the specific cell down here, and then you press equal sign on your keyboard. So it does the same thing. So you can search for specific formula. So for example, sum, and then you click tab on your keyboard, and then you will be given the option to insert formula. So there are hundreds of formulas inside Excel. It depends on what purpose you use this one. So in the later discussion, we will be discussing some of the formulas that is commonly used in Excel. Okay, but for now, we have to discuss the basics. Now, when formulas like gets more complicated, let's say you have numbers that you want to calculate. Just check this out a little bit. Yeah. So when formulas get more complicated, you need to have specific orders so you can actually calculate the numbers properly. So that's where BidMass comes in. So it's a rule to decide what gets calculated first. And does anyone know what BidMass means? No. Yeah, exactly. So that's BidMass means this is bracket. I stands for indices, D for division, M for multiplication, A for addition, and S for subtraction. So that's how the process goes. Like when you calculate a specific formula, for example, you have a complicated numbers that you need to calculate, you have to follow these rules. I've given an example here. So let's zoom in a little bit. Okay. So yeah, so BidMass stands for bracket first, and then the indices or the powers, raised to the number, specific number. And you have division and multiplication from left to right, and then you have the addition and the subtraction. So given the example here, so this is a very simple BidMass. I should have not included the answer right away. So in here, you have the numbers 2 plus 3 times 4 raised to 2 minus 8 divided by 2. So when you calculate this, I don't know, if you try this on your calculator, I don't know if that will work. I don't know, if you can try this on your calculator, what 2 plus 3, but you don't have, okay. 2 plus 3 times 4. No, it cannot be. You need yeah. Yeah, you need to have, because you don't have raised to in the, so the way to calculate this in, not just in Excel, in a specific number calculation, you have to follow the steps. So what it says here is you need to have the bracket first, but we don't have bracket in here, correct? So it's just plain number calculation. So the next step is you need to check if there are indices. So in here, we have indices. So it says here 4 raised to 2. Okay, so 4 raised to 2. in the step number 1, 4 raised to 2 means 4 times 4 equals 16. Correct? So we've calculated the indices first. And then the next one, so we have to multiply because we're working on this part down here. So you have to multiply 3 times 16. And then the next one is the division, which is 8 divided by 2, this part here, which is 4. And then the last part, because we don't have, so last part will be the addition number and the subtraction. So you have the result of this one and this one. So 48 plus 2 minus 4. So because this is the last part down here, correct? So this is 8 divided by 2 equals 4. That's the result of this, but you still have this minus subtraction sign here. So that's why you have 2 plus 48 minus 4. Okay, that's how you calculate. But without this rules down here, it might be difficult for us to calculate this number. Okay? So you have to follow this in any of your calculations, not just in Excel. In any of your calculations, you have to follow this rules. So another example down here. So this is this is 2 in a bracket, and you have times 4 raised to 2 again minus 8 divided by 2. So which one we have to calculate first? Correct. So within the bracket first. So that's why I've written down here 2 plus 3 equals 5. And then the next one, which is the indices. So we have to calculate the indices first. So that's equal to 16 because 4 times 4 equals 16. And then the next one is you have the multiplication. So you multiply this with the result and you have 80. And same goes with down here, and you have this result, 76. Okay? So we have now the bracket and the indices. Okay, so let's go to the a little bit complex one. So if you don't know the process, I mean, if you don't know the Vidmas rules, even me, I wouldn't be able to calculate this on my own. So it's very important that you know these rules. Okay, this is in general, it's not just in Excel, it's in general calculation. So down here, you have, if you have noticed down here, we have 2 brackets, okay? So you have to work on the bracket first. So that's why you have to calculate the first bracket, which is 2 plus 2 plus 3 equals 5. And then because we're still working on this bracket down here, so you have the result of 5 raised to 2. That's why you have 25, correct? And then the result of that should be multiplied by 4, okay? And then because we're working the bracket still, that's why you have to deduct this minus 8. That's why you have 92. And then now you'll be working on the outside of the bracket. So you have to divide and you have this. And that's why you have the result of 51. Now, without the BITMAS rules, you don't know, I don't even know how to calculate this. Just by first glance, I would never be able to calculate that. But because of this, so always remember this one, it applies in general rules, not just here in Excel. Okay, so everyone is okay with the calculation? Any questions? Okay, I'll be sending this to you after the session, so at least you can review this. Now, we'll be going to the discussion of formulas. And majority of our time, we will be discussing about the formula in Excel. Okay, I think until the last part of our session, we will be discussing about the formula. So at least you will not get bored with listening to me. If you can please copy this one, if you can do this in your Excel, and then let's work on the formula after you do this. Because if I'm gonna If talk down here, you will get bored listening to me. So um, do this in your Excel exactly as it is being written, okay? Because we have examples for us to work on this. So exactly as it is written. So if there are small letters, that should be small letters. Big letters, all capitals, it should be all capitals. And the numbers. So just let me know when everyone is done so we can start with the Okay. Okay. This is not work.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's the. I mean, you can format your, if you like, you can format your. But anyway, it's fine because we have this other portion here. That we'll work on before. So everything's okay? Like something nice. Yeah, that should be good. That's okay. It doesn't matter. Collaboration. Um, it's fine. Yeah, di ba? Parang ginawa ko dito bahay ito eh. Tapos, nakakomplet na yun lahat eh. Wala akong magawa eh sa mga doon. This shape. No, this one. This. Yeah, you can. So everything okay? All done? So now we'll start working on the formula. I think this Let me try this. Control Shift. No, doesn't work. Shift. Yeah, so let's start with, sorry, I added it down here. Let's start with the most used basic formula in Excel, which is sum. Yeah. So you don't have to write this down, sorry. You can just go down here in your any empty cell, and then if you can start with inserting function. So you can insert the function and then search for sum. So when you search for sum, you have the option for sum, and then just click OK. Okay. Everyone is on this page. Yeah. And then you can you can click this icon down here. Okay. And then it asks you for which part you wanted to sum, like add. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So you go to insert function and then search for sum. For those who are always using Excel, I know this is very basic to you. So just search for sum, and then you have the first function result, and then click OK. And then you will be given an option down here. Okay? And then this icon here, if you click that, you will be given again an option like here. So you can drag this. So we wanted to add all these numbers from B2 to B6. B2 plus B6? No, you know, yeah. B2 plus? You can use column. So okay, let's try this one first, and then we'll show you the easiest way of how to do this. So now I've selected this part here. So from B2 to B6. So this, because sorry, the screen is too small. So you see this part here? That means up to the last part, like up to this. Yeah. Oh, let me show it again. Sorry. It's a little bit confusing, yes? Okay, so you go to function, search for sum. I know this is gonna be just in the first stage. Eventually you'll get used to this. And you select sum, click OK. And you have this option down here. Okay. You select this and you select all this number. You can also select until here, but we're working on this one. So from B2 down to B6. And click that and click OK. So you have the result of sum. Okay. Let me just put this down here. So this is an example of how it's being calculated. So it's actually 85 plus 92 plus 78 plus 95 plus 88. Okay. Have you selected? Yeah. So this.
I cannot drop from it. It will drop from it. It will not drop from it. Not from it.
Go back. It's sound. Okay.
Sorry, I don't know if it's that or out.
Yeah. So yeah, let's connect it. Hold on, let me just it's so you can try it down. Okay. And then you return
This
you
one.
click back again. Yes. And then click OK. Yes. That's how you use sound. No. That's
Yeah.
Good. That's not. So you click here. See this like that's yes. Yeah. Yan, yan. So, ayan yung point. Yes, yan yung lang.
Gaano pang bago? Kung hindi ka maririnig sa akin. Mabibiling na naman. Mabibiling na naman. Bago. Hindi pa. December. Patay pa. Hindi na rin. Hindi pumasa sa bilig. Hindi pa. Going pa lang. Sa amin. Kasi wala masyadong gusto na. Wala masyadong bumibili. Nag-boss na kami mo. Kaso nag-aanda na ako. Bili ka. Pag napalabas ka,
Sorry, hindi ko na nag-aaral ko eh. Yes. Galing ko din.
Huh? Na ako naman.
So, hindi ako nakapag-ita. Hindi ko na-pursue yung one.
Oh, ako naman si Payman.
Okay.
Everyone okay? So, hindi mo rin nalala.
Yes, may way talaga. Yes. So that's how you actually insert. So, apologies, this is our first time to use the formula. So that's the longest way or longest path to insert the formula. You can actually do that by, so the easiest way is to press equals on your keyboard and then just type in sum. So you don't have to go through the whole process of inserting the function. So type in on your keyboard and on any empty cells, and then just start typing equals, and then type sum on your keyboard. Any empty cells. Then just type in equal sign. This one, okay? Equals, type in sum. Yeah, and then you have the first option is sum.
Yeah.
You click tab on your keyboard. Tab. So when you click tab on your keyboard, you have the opening bracket.
Number one.
Okay, let me do it again. So let me increase the size of it. Is the screen size too small? Okay, let's try it again. Sorry, I think. Okay. Let me just go out. So let's try down here. So you click equals on your keyboard and then type in sum. All okay. And then press tab on your keyboard. So when you press tab, it gives you the opening bracket. Yeah. And then you drag all the numbers here. It's exactly the same thing as what we did with inserting a function. Or you can also drag from here down to here. So it will also calculate the sum of all of these numbers. Okay? And then you close down the formula. So you make sure that you close the formula, otherwise it will not work. We have glutamate. Everything okay? We're just we're on the first formula sum. Okay. We have huge list of formula, but don't worry if you don't finish this today. I've written all the formula and explanation on the side here, so you can actually review this on your own. But I'm just showing you how to do this. So in there. So no shift close. Yeah. So this one, shift and this. It's all done. That's all.
Just like.
Yeah. And then you enter. So that's the okay. Yeah. Yes. So if you click enter, I mean if you press enter on the keyboard, it will then become the name. Yeah. All okay? And then if you want to check again, you can double click and you can also deduct. For example, you just want to add from B4 to C6. So you can also do the same thing. Yeah. Because sometimes you're adding few cells, sometimes you're adding all the cells. So all together. Okay. So guys, I've included all the formulas down here with explanation on how to use it and an example of based on this one. So because there are countless formulas that we have to work on. Okay. So so I think we're okay with sum. So you click sum, tab, B2. You can also write down if you know exactly what cell you're adding on. So down here, it does the same thing. So you can actually type directly if you know this the cell address. So we're working on B2 down to B6. So you can type in directly here. So if you can see the formula, it says B2 up to B6. That's exactly the same thing. Okay? Can we move on to the average? Yeah, okay. So the average, it says here, it represents the arithmetic mean calculated by dividing the sum of values by the number of values. So in here, so let's say, for example, we want to get the average test score. So how do we do that? So in here, the same thing, you can click equals and then average, and you have the average. Sorry, is that average? Yeah. And then you scroll down and close. Sorry. And that's the average. Okay? Gumagana. Yeah. Let's do it again. Okay. Equals, and then type in average, and click tab, and you have the opening bracket, equals average, tab. Yeah. So it's up to you. If you know the cell address, again, you can type B2 down to B6. Sorry, B6. And then close. So it highlights the numbers from B2 to B6. And then you press enter. It's almost the same as the sum, but the difference is because it says the average. Okay, so if you have two equals now, so you need to make sure that one and then open. Yeah,
Yes,
all good.
yes.
Now you become quicker in typing. In the future, in the next sessions, we have H lookup and V lookup. Very complicated topic. Oh my God. But at least we're learning together. Yeah, so when you press enter, you will have the average down here. Now again, if you want to extend the number average, you can go and type in C6. And you have, I've included the average of the attendance and the test score. Okay. And you can also, so if you have a number with a lot of decimal points, you can go here in the number and then you, yeah. Okay. Average is fine.
Yeah, right.
All right. Okay, let's go to the next formula. It says count. Sorry, I'm too slow with. Okay, so the count represents the number of cells in a range that contain numeric data. So let's try with the formula. Sorry. Okay, so let's try with the formula count. So it says counts the numeric entries in the attendance column. So we'll be calculating how many numeric entries in the attendance column. So you use count. Okay, so equals count from C2 down to C6. So we have 4 numeric columns. So the empty cells, although I've added the empty cells, it's in C6, but because it's empty, it's not being counted. So that's why you only have 4 numeric numbers. Okay, so that's why you have the result of 4. If I add, let's say for example, I added 56 down here, my result should change. So if I add C to C6, now it becomes 5 because I've added another numeric value in the formula here. Okay. So that's count, but don't worry about this one. I yeah. And so if I put it back again, C6, you have 4 because I removed the number. All good? C6. Yeah. C6. So there are 4 numerical values in attendance. Yeah. Now okay? You're not good. That's not the this one.
Yung
Let's count the
percentage
number.
na
We'll go on.
no?
Percentage.
Kasi percentage itong total.
Okay, so it's yeah. Yeah, that's correct. So there are 4 numerical values.
8,000 lagi 8,000. Dapat ang
Yeah.
dito.
Yeah.
Dapat yun lang yun.
So that's how you use count. So I'll send this later because I don't think that we'll be able to finish this with. Right. So the next formula, unfortunately, we have to do this one by one. So it says count blank. So it says represents the number of empty blank cells in a specific range. So to do that, you have to use the count blank. So let's count how many blank cells are available. Obviously, we know that this is one cell is empty, but let's try and use that. So you click equals and then count blank, also down here. And then let's say C2 to C6. Yeah, so there's only one blank cell, which is Emma's missing attendance. So it's counting how many blank cells are there in attendance. So if, yeah. Say, for example, I remove 22 down here. And it adjusts to 2 empty cells. Okay. So click. So every formula, I have the formula section down here that says formula, you see, the selected part. So I just added use because otherwise if I don't use use, it will calculate automatically. So you use this as your basis, but don't include the use one because that's just okay. Because if I remove this use use text now, it will calculate. Okay, it will calculate the value. So that's why I use for you to be able to see what formula you're going to use. Okay. Now you can actually start doing this like len. Yeah. So len, it says counts characters in text string. So it's counting the characters in the text string. So let's say, for example, you wanted to count how many strings available here in this cell. Let's say, for example, I wanted to count how many strings are there in G12. So it has 93 characters. Yes. So there are times that you wanted to get how many characters are there in specific text. You use the formula len. Okay. Yeah. You can also extend, as far as I know, you can also extend, for example, G13 down. No, it doesn't accept. So it doesn't accept the, so it's only counting in one cell. Yeah. So you use len and then which cell? Oh, by the way, did you see that? Let's say for, yeah, it's counting the strings, text strings. So for example, I wanted to know how many characters in this text. If I count this one by one, it will take me time. So I use the formula len, sorry, here. So I use equals len tab, and then I select. You can select and then close, and then that's it. It will count the characters automatically. Yeah. It's very useful, I think, in some cases, because there are some times that you're actually being asked to write specific number of characters. Okay. The next one is upper. So obviously upper, it's you want to make the text in all capital letters. You can actually do that by other function, but here we're gonna use the function. Let's say, for example, we want to convert a John Smith because this John Smith is actually in small letters. So let's try to put this in upper letter. So you click upper and then B2 is John Smith, correct? Oh, sorry. What is that thinking? What is that? Why is this 85? Equals upper, and then let me select John Smith. Yeah, and then close. Yeah. So as you can see down here, so it converts all the lower text to upper text format. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the use of upper. Now, if there is upper, there is also lower. Okay. So let me delete this. You type in and then type in lower. And then let's say, for example, which one is okay. Let's say we want Mary Jones to be in small letters. So yeah, as you can see down here, it becomes Mary Jones in lower letters. Okay,
So it's equals to not
equals lower, and then which cell you wanted to. Yeah. Okay, now there is also proper. So proper means first letter should be capital. Yeah. Lower. Yeah. Yeah, so lower, let's say for example, you want this because these are Alice Brown is all in common letters, right? So if you keep that, and then we'll
Yun yung formula. Pero hindi naman dami ko sa
Yeah.
Hindi yung mga science.
We have small letters.
Minus the percentage. Yan gagamit sa akin. Madalang wala niyan pag mali yung pangalan na gawa, no?
So it's like yes, equals L and it comes when two characters. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah, B. And yes. Yes, that's correct. Because Mary Jones is, you see, it becomes small letters, all small letters. That's correct. Okay. So. Um,
how to be low.
lower so equals. No, not with equals. Lower. Okay. If you want to, make it all capital letters, use capital. Okay. So. Okay. Okay. Which one? Next one. So we have trim. So it says represents the removal of extra space from the text string, leaving only single spaces between words. So if you don't mind doing this, so if you can create a double space. So here I one, two. Okay, so I've created a double space down here. So I know that John Smith have a double space. Let's use trim. Okay. So use trim to remove that double space. And then B2. Where is it? Oh my God, I keep on. Trim A2. That should be B2. Why is it? I have to select trim. Is it B2? Oh, A2, sorry. So, yeah, so as you can see here, it removes the extra space that I've added here. You see here, there are two spaces that I've added on this text. Yeah, okay. Now let's move to, before I give you your own activity, let's move down to the a little bit complicated one. So let's use count if. So count if, it says represents the count of cells in a range that meet a single specified condition. So in here, you will be adding a condition in your formula. So let's say, for example, here, we want to count the students with scores above 90. So I wanted to know how many are the students who actually scored above 90. So down here, uh, you use count if, and then we wanted to get those students who has scores above 90 from this here. So you select this, count if, okay? And then what criteria? You see, you've been given an option here. So what criteria, what what's your condition? It's asking you what's your condition, what's your criteria. So adding a criteria, you have to make sure that you include this. You know this, what do you call this one? Sorry. Mm, apostrophe? No, not really apostrophe. So this sign. Yeah, so I'm not so good in science. So and here we wanted to know how many students are actually who got a score of greater than 90. So you have to put greater than 90. So my keyboard is also different. Yeah. Am I using keyboard you also? Oh my God. So function shift. I will just copy this one. Okay. Where is it? Yeah. So you have to include your condition, which is here. We wanted to know how many students who has scores with greater than 90. So you have to make sure that you add this condition inside your cell. So greater than 90. We wanted to get how many students are there with scores greater than 90. So we use count if. Yeah. Count if, and then we wanted to get those students who actually scored higher than 90. So you select from B, is it A2 or B2?
B2.
B2 down to B6, okay? So, and then what's your criteria? So what's your condition? So,
Then you enter.
yeah, my keyboard is up. Yeah, so count in. Yeah, exactly. We have the same count. So it's count in. Yeah, count in. And then the range. So this. Yeah. And then go back. And then once you're in the yeah. Great. This one. It doesn't work. Yeah, so you type in counter, okay. Okay. And the range was probably.
Tapos lang sa isor.
Wait, no. Select this.
Then
Basics.
I close
Yes.
and enter.
Yes.
Oh,
So it's bigger.
oh, that's a shift.
Bigger than mine.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ay, sa mga
No, it's better.
Ay, sa baba. Isa. Ay, sa baba. Ito naman may impression ko.
Hindi ko pa kasi pinaan.
Smile, smile. Paborito kong gamit eh. No? Message. May message na tumatawa ka. Ito. No? Ito ba? Ito. Ano pa yung message na tumatawa ka? Yes, ang palang function yan. Di ba? Ito naman yung galit ka. Galit ka eh. Ano? Tapos galit ka. Ito tumatawa ka. Dati mo yung message ka. Mati, so, tapos tapos.
Select the orange. So yeah.
Parang nagdala.
Sige, ano yan? Yung
Pero lang dalawa. Ito lang. Ito sa kapwa.
Oh.
no.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, so that's counting how many students who got scores above 90. If we change this to less than 90, what is my? So if you change the condition to less than 90, so you're actually getting 3. Because if we count down here, we have 1, 2, and 3. So less than 90, we have 3 students. One is John Smith, Alice, and Emma. Okay. Now going to more complicated one. So if we go down to a little bit more complicated, so you have count ifs. So you have more conditions applying to a specific formula. So in here, let's say, for example, I wanted to count the students with scores above 80 and an attendance above 19 days. So you use this, just follow this. I've already done this, I've done this already in it. So if you can follow this one, so what we wanted to get is actually to count the students with scores above 80 and an attendance above 19 days. So just follow this. Yeah. This one.
Equals.
Yes. Good luck with keyboard layout. Now I know because you have English UK, so you have to because your layout is keyword B. So here, yeah. I think that's the reason why. So you actually type in the wrong command. That's because of your keyboard layout. Okay.
Why not to make?
So you have to make sure that because your keyboard desk layout is actually English based, not UK based. So there are quite difference in yeah. And the keyboard layouts. So what we wanted to get now is students with above 80 scores and an attendance of 19. Yeah, we have the same problem, eh? Yeah. Down here? No, definitely I cannot see that. I don't think so.
Is it okay if I'm having this in there?
Can try. No, I think it will work because you know what happens, you have the last condition you need to add, this one. So greater than 19, so we have an attendance, because you're selecting this, so you select, so you can add, oh, that's right, so C6. Yeah.
And then.
Column. Yeah. Yes. This one. So. Then. 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 Here. And bacteria. Next bacteria. What's range? It's fine. Then.
And that's
So what result do you get?
one.
One, that's correct. Yes. So that's, yeah. Yeah, because I think you check the data, that's fine, that should be okay. It entered it too many enemies, don't argue with the computer. Don't argue with the computer. Yeah, so here there's a difference in count if and count ifs. You've selected count if, so count if is only one condition. Count ifs, you can have multiple conditions. It's just the S. So again, don't argue with the computer. Count ifs. Yeah, that should be. That's fine. Yeah, and yeah, so everyone got correct result of one. That's correct. Zero. Zero. Maybe so, so we're working on yung sa akin kasi B yung C yung cell ko. So ito we're yung C2 ito D2 to D6. Kasi we're working on which cell. Ano ba yung hinahanap natin? Zero pa din. Sige, isa pa. Kasi ito dapat C2 kasi na-move mo yung cell mo. Ito C2 to C6. So, kasi andito siya po. C2 C2 yes.
Yeah.
So nandito kasi sa safe. Nag-add ka kasi dito ng namin. So everyone. The last it was last year. Yeah. That's not good.
Tapos ito yung pamilya sumunod siya ng kaya ako mag-sipin na kinuha ko na kinuha. Yeah, wala ka po na kung ano yung kalay nito.
Alam ba ang ship? Zero. That means you're referencing different volumes. So here Yeah, so you don't have data in B. So this one should be C3, C2, this one should be B. So if I go to right now,
Oh, nagganyan si
okay? So make sure because you're just confused because we have a different layout. You've added this an extra column.
Yeah, I need to cancel this.
Yeah, you can actually delete this. So let's then we can actually delete it. Okay. And this yeah, so we're in the same column because what happened is you're referencing a different column number as well. So if you're targeting this, you need to make sure that you're in the same. Okay? Everyone okay? Now, don't worry, I'm gonna send this all to you. So at least you can practice that at home. We still have 30 minutes to go. Can you actually do this? It's the same data that we have, but you've write down all this. I think Ate, I've seen that she's started writing all the formula. So if you can do this, write this down. I mean, if you can follow the same and then use this formula and have this result here. So I'll give you an example. So sum, the same thing. So this is gonna be your personal activity, okay? So you should have a result like this using the formula on this part here. How do I will increase the sorry guys. I will increase the let me just put this. Is that visible to you? This is the problem with us spending so much time in computers. Yeah, so just do this for now. Once you're done with this one here, I will scroll down a little bit. Sorry.
So new sheet.
I've actually, yes, I've actually created a new sheet down here called activity. I just copied the data from here. So I copied all this data and then paste it in a new sheet down here. And yeah, make sure that you're actually referencing on the same column. So you paste on the first cell here, because I've seen some of you are actually on different cells. So when you're referencing the formula, for example, B2 to C6, what happened is because you have an extra cell, extra column here, so you won't get correct result because you're referencing a wrong cell. So make sure you copy and paste exactly as it is. Okay, so you have the data. Let me just show you. Let me just show you so you won't get confused. So what I mean is I copy all this. I copy this, right click, copy. I click add a new sheet and make sure I paste it on the first column, okay? So at least I have exactly the same data that I'm gonna be working on. And, okay. Same data what you've been working on a while ago. And then just add this one here. This. How to copy, yes? Good question. So you take, so there's an easy way, you control A and then control A, yes, control A. Control A.
Okay.
or you can select all and then Control C. You see, if you click Control C, you have this like then we add sheet things that can help us on the other side. So you have formula name and then the formula. Yes. So that it's fun. You copy all of this. And we also Control Z. Guys, don't forget to save your work.
Yes.
You have the student of 50 and then the formula name and then the formula.
Yes.
Yes. So because this are your example, this is what you want.
Yes.
So you just not you want this one. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So because most probably you have subject test.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry if you don't, if you're not able to finish this today, I'm gonna send this to you. And you can just do this on your free time. You have 1 week to do this. Yes. Yes. So first you can do student activity on first. Leave an extra. Student activity. And then our name, formula name, and then yeah. Excellent. So you can, you know how to merge your date, I mean your cell now. So here. This type and formula.
So we just,
Yeah.
here.
Leave an empty space. That's correct. Yes. So you leave E as an empty space, so you have a barrier between the activity and yes, formula name, and then formula, and then the last part is after the yeah, because it doesn't fit in the screen.
So.
I wish this is touch screen so I can actually do that. Wait, I'll come back to you. Yeah, so this is how it looks. For those who have better vision, this is how it looks.
What that is, how come I get 0.70?
Now, because you've added, I think the whole, doesn't matter as long as you use the proper formula. The answer is not necessary that exactly the same. So 507, let me just check. Some, yeah, because you've included C6. So you can put it on, it's fine. I mean, that's how you use the formula. I mean,
Okay.
it's, the answer is irrespective as long as you use the
With the
proper
correct
formula.
formula.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, well,
How many get my previous?
the previous one, you close it?
No, I don't
Here. That this one?
Not this one. My plan.
Uh,
My plan.
this one?
Yeah, but it's not there.
See? What we got?
No, see.
Open this. This is the one we're working on. Excel formula.
I see.
This one.
Not this, not this. The previous one. My plan.
I think you saved the thing.
Yeah,
I think it's a little. Remember, I asked you to write the reserve. Look at this one.
Yeah, it is not.
Okay.
You check, how to search the history, deleted history. Like how should I go? Deleted history.
Yeah. Not yet.
So important to. Can you go to the deleted market?
That's fine. You work on the own formulas.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So I didn't go that thing, and then.
That's okay. This type and those. This one. That's. Everyone got until this point here? Let me. So you still have few items down here. And there are quite a few formulas. But if you're not done with the first. So guys, this not necessarily mean that you have to follow what I'm calculating on, but you can actually use this as a reference. Okay?
Whatever.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Um, let me decrease this a little bit and so you can actually see the full picture of now. How do we do this in the future that you can actually
Yeah, set this.
convert C4 today? We found a typo in your formula, so convert. So where are we? So here. So C4, is that correct? C4
Day
and then the day.
and the HM.
So you're missing down here. No. Oh my God. So you are missing this. Enter. Yeah. So just have this as a result. I mean, if you can have a result column down here, this one, so at least we know exactly that you actually got a result. Oh. So, yeah, sit down. Mm. Lala, so you work on this. You see here?
No, I need a new file.
That is fine. This is okay. You don't need the new file. I just created a new worksheet here. Okay, let's name this as PPT.
Can you do for me? It's very time.
It's okay, no worries. If you again, if you're not able to finish this today, you have all the time in the world to work this at home. And that's okay, no problem. Okay, and then you just write down. You just write down this. If you're not able to finish, that's fine. Don't worry. It's okay, don't worry. I'm not gonna force you to finish this. It's fine. But uh
This one.
this one. Which one?
This one is.
This,
No, sorry.
this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it. So just type this one. Type this.
Yeah.
Type this in, and then it's fine. If you're not able to finish, it's okay. Don't go. Down, down a little bit. Yes. Save your work. We have a very, I feel like we always have a very short period of time working on these things. But at least you're learning something, right? This is what we came for. This one. Yeah, so that should be a thing. So if you can work on, yeah, on all of this, yes. Yes. Yeah, so you can actually use that. I mean, you don't have to use. Use that. Yeah. Also, you can do is you- This one is just like on the start. It's on the start. It's not. It's not. This is for you. Simple. Okay. Yeah, I can't even see. I can't even see this.
You're going to send it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this in WhatsApp. She's yeah. So I'm gonna send this to the group. Um, because I know we don't have much time. Guys, this is not part of the formula, okay? This use. This is not part of the formula, okay? I'm just adding it here so actually you can use the formula. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Down. Yeah. Um, Yes. Yes, please. Yeah. For those who are fasting and you're free to go. I mean, we only have until 5 p.m. anyway, so if you're not able to finish this, I'm gonna send this to the group. So here. So you don't have to wait. So here. Yes, I'm gonna send this to the group. So, no. And then just I don't know. You follow that? Yes, so the result, don't use. Yeah, yes, some and then that's it. Yeah. And no, that means if you have name question mark, that means you have made from see here, exact, X, right? That should be like this. Oh. The result is false. That means, yes. So confirm. Well, so confirm. Convert. See on. Convert. So you see here you have the they yeah. And then and then and then now hour. Right. I'm gonna send this to the group, okay? Don't worry, guys. If you're not able to finish it today. Okay. See you next week. Save your work. Don't forget to save your work. Can you imagine typing the whole test and then you forgot? See you next week. I'm going to send this to the group, okay? Kumusta ang trabaho, sir?
Ito lang.
Ayos lang.
Masang ano? Nagsasaka na yata.
Bakit?
Nagkakabas na.
Anong field niyo ba?
Ano, nagbebenta ng ano, mga sasakyan.
Medyo mahirap nga sa sakyan ngayon.
Kaya nagkaroon na ako ng ako yun.
Mahirap nga ngayon sa sakyan. Anong sasakyan?
Ano ito?
Anong brand?
Mga RV.
Hmm?
RV.
RV.
Yung malalaking sasakyan.
Oh,
Pang bahay.
medyo mahirap nga ngayon. Kasi pag meron na, hindi na naman bibili ulit.
Oo. So,
Oh, malabo yan dito.
oo nga.
Parang hindi masyadong ano dito.
Kaya saan lang ka?
Medyo mahirap kasi dito dahil ilan lang naman.
Yan ang bumibili.
Bumibili.
Isa.
Excuse me, I forgot.
Yes.
Even I cannot open Outlook. Should I buy again like the way I did with the Excel?
Why?
Should I open Outlook?
Is that working?
It's not licensed. Okay. So I should buy again because I went to work. Then I use the Excel from there.
Because it should come in one package, correct? The license should come in one package.
But it's fine.
See you next week, guys. More formula next week. Oo.
Hindi ko makakapag-convert na yan. Hindi ko naman kasi usually ginagamit.
Hindi. Hindi usual na ginagamit, pero alam mo yung
Alam mo din.
oo, at least yung theory. Kaya nilalagay ko na dito eh. Kasi kapag hindi ko nilagay yung example, mahirap matutunan. Tagal ko ginawa to. Inisa-isa ko yan. Gagawa ako ng worksheet. Isa-isa ko yung ginagawa.
Yung sa ano natin, ang yung sabi na
Yung advanced Excel sir, more on yung topic ng advanced Excel, saan naka-focus?
Ano yun? Data ano na yun? Data analysis na yun. Kung meron kang sobrang daming numbers ng data, halimbawa ng company data mo, gusto mong ayusin, i-clean up, i-present ng maayos, yung advance. Kasi parang meron ka ng existing na mga data ng company mo. Tapos gusto mong i-collate, gusto mong i-present ng, halimbawa, ang result ng ganito, itong first quarter, ito yung result na to, second quarter, ito yun yung sa advanced analytics, advanced. Oo. Kaso medyo talagang madugo, kaya dinadaan ko muna sa basic eh. Kasi ang hirap. Katulad nung, ito nga may nangyari sa amin. May nag-enroll ng advanced Excel kasi nga may idea na daw siya. Pagdating namin doon, hindi nga alam mo paano gumamit ng formula. Oo.
Sabi ko, ito pala ang kailangan ko sa partners.
Kailangan talaga sana from basic muna. Although may alam kahit ako, may idea ako dito pero hindi ko master buong ano. Kailangan pa rin may basic theory ka bago mag-advance. Opo. Oo. Oo. Ilalabas ko to. Actually, hinide ko lang talaga dito yung result niyan. Pero sasend ko to sa group para at least ma-work nyo. Tapos ipakita natin next week. Ingat po. Oh yeah. Let me just end this